morning, campers. How's everyone doing? Oh, fuck. Just see that bag of washing behind me? Alright. Well, at least you know that I'm keeping it clean, even if I'm being lazy and putting it away. Anyway, how's it going, everyone? My name is Louis Vuitton. Welcome to the show. I am an Australian lefty streamer who talks about both American and Australian stuff. Needless to say, in the Twitch politics community, it's a bit hard to escape the pool of American politics. In fact, outside of the Twitch community, it's hard to escape America itself. America is the center of the, well, I was going to say modern world, but center of the world, full stop. So hey, I cover both American and Australian stuff. In the mornings like this, well, morning my time, cover usually American content. In the evening my time, more Australian-centric. An Australian stream for the Australians. I'm gonna have to move that bag, it's bothering me too much. There we are. Alrighty. So, how's everybody going? Let's start us off. Let me get the shilling out of the way. So, as I said, I'm Louis Vuitton. You can find me Louis Vuitton, YouTube and Twitch. Also follow me on Twitter. I do prepared content over on YouTube. And stream on YouTube and Twitch. But I follow the Twitch stream platform more closely. So, hey, the chat that appears on screen will be the Twitch one. So, help a guy out. We don't have many big lefty Australian streamers over here. In fact, we don't have any. So hey, we need to get some big left-wing figures up to help combat those on the right in Australia, because there are some big right-wing channels down here. So, I help you guys out by covering your country's content. Help me out so we can get a big Australian left-wing streamer up to combat the right. But anyway, shilling over. So, today, I believe... Yes, today. Today is Juneteenth. In America, of course. Obviously, where I am, it's a day later. So yes, today is Juneteenth. And I wasn't originally going to talk about it, but then just this morning, I decided, yeah, why not? We'll talk about it a bit before we get to what I had planned. Oh, real briefly, though, I'm starting, like, an hour later than what I normally would. I don't know, technical difficulties where on my computer where it's set up to capture multiple audio inputs, so of course the computer and the microphone, had everything set up, all the windows open, ready to go for the stream, go, like, everything, OBS as well, go to the computer settings to change the audio from the desktop speakers to the multiple audio input, and it's just gone. And I'm fiddling around in the settings, and I can't change it back to multiple audio inputs. So I've had to go and find some program that works with OBS, download that, get it set up. So anyway, you can hear me, you can hear the desktop audio, everyone's happy. But anyway, but not everybody is happy about Juneteenth. So, in case you don't know, as I've learned as a foreigner, learning about other countries and other cultures, Juneteenth is a day that's celebrated on the 19th of June, American date obviously, to commemorate the passing of General Order Number 3, I believe, which was the proclamation in Texas to end chattel slavery in Texas. Now, obviously, slavery itself continues to this day, because American prisoners in prisons are still, like the actual, is it the 14th Amendment? Still allows for slavery in prison. So, very cool democracy, America. Very nice. So, yes. And you can also extrapolate, like, hey, like, other forms of slavery, wage slavery, child labor. But at least chattel slavery in Texas, Juneteenth marks the end of it. So, I mean, this seems like something worth celebrating. The ending of chattel slavery is a good thing, you would think. And hey, not only are we marking that day, but getting a day off, or at least some people are. I'm sure that there's plenty of service workers working wage slave jobs that are still working on Juneteenth. I hope they're getting penalty rates. Actually, I don't know. Is penalty rates a thing in America? Does America have penalty rates? I mean, considering that its minimum wage is atrocious, does it even have penalty rates? I don't know. Probably not, if I know anything about America. So, let's have a listen to somebody with a hot take on why Juneteenth should not be a holiday. Let's learn. Alrighty. Here we are. Amala with PragerU. Oh, love to see it. So, the US government has declared Juneteenth a federal holiday. Is this making tangible change for the black community, or just another way to promote racial division in America? Well, it's a good thing, but it's one of those, let's make a symbolic change to gesture towards as if we're helping to heal the wounds of systemic injustice. So while Juneteenth is not a bad thing, it is worth celebrating and worth acknowledging. I have to remember that this is, there's a long road on the path to systemic justice. So, also, I love that everyone's losing their shit over the fist in the hashtag. Everyone's losing their mind about it being the BLM fist. It's the communist fist. Sorry, guys. Anyway, alright. 7 minutes long, so we might not watch the whole thing, but let's hear what she's got to say. I'm sure it's going to be some insightful insight? No. I'm sure that whatever she's got to say is going to be insightful.
Because everybody's been talking about it, so I'm here today, Amla Epinobi, with Prager University, to give you my take on Juneteenth. And just to preface this, it's not going to be anything radical. I'm not coming at your throats. I'm not going to be angry about anything that's going on right now, because I don't think it deserves that sort of energy. And I've seen a lot of people on both sides of the aisle going back and forth, being very angry about what's happening right now with Juneteenth, and people on the left defending it, and blah, 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 blah. I just want...
Why would they be angry, though? Like, the only people angry I've seen are people on the right who are, like, bending over backwards to try and justify opposing the celebration of the holiday.
I state the case because I think there's a narrative that we are not seeing here when it comes to Juneteenth, the now federally recognized holiday in America. And I do have notes here because, of course, I want to get this right. This is a sticky subject to step in, and you kind of feel like you have to walk on eggshells when you're talking about this. Funny enough, I'm going to talk about why you feel the need to walk on eggshells when we come on this. It is a very ingenious trick specifically made by the radical left to make it so that you cannot possibly oppose something like Juneteenth. So let me give you the perspective here. If you're not familiar with what Juneteenth is, that will be tomorrow, now a federally recognized holiday that celebrates the emancipation of slavery. Kind of, not quite. It celebrates the emancipation of slaves in Galveston, Texas, and the announcement of which it was made in that state to emancipate slaves. Great, good, love it. A disclaimer, nobody is against the emancipation of slaves. I can't find a single...
I don't know about that. I reckon you could, especially if we had 4 more years of Trump, I reckon you could find a few Republicans that would be pro-slavery. And hey, like, hello, as I just pointed out earlier, prisoners are treated as slaves, so yes, slavery still exists, and especially people on the right will ardently defend the slavery that goes on in prisons, the prison industrial complex. So now, yes, again, chattel slavery was abolished, but I reckon you could find people that would go that far.
Person who would tell you any differently than what I just told you. Nobody is against the emancipation of slaves. That is a great, wonderful thing. As a Black American, I really do appreciate that that happened. But what is happening right now is that Juneteenth is being pushed as this major narrative, and it is being pushed. I'm sure you're seeing it everywhere. If you are hearing me talk about this for the first time, I am baffled. But Juneteenth is being pushed because it perpetuates the very same narrative of things like critical race theory here in America. And what is that narrative? The narrative is that Black Americans are oppressed and that white Americans are the oppressors. So Black, great, we need to help them, they are victims. White, bad, colonizers. They are the ones who have been doing the oppressing. They are the ones who have enslaved us. And Juneteenth is an avenue of...
But they were. Like, wait. Like, she's not saying, like, oh, it's not done anymore, but, like, they were. You can't say otherwise. And I don't know about this narrative. She's throwing, like, she's not saying a lot because she's throwing out a lot of thought-terminating cliches, or the crap about critical race theory and the radical left. Two ideas that I don't think you could have any conservative actually define. But yeah, I'm sorry. Historically and contemporarily, the system does benefit white people to the detriment of black. It's empirically demonstrable. Sorry. Demonstrably it can be demonstrated with evidence.
Which we push that narrative. And I'm just going to refer back to my...
Also, how does Juneteenth fit into that narrative? Like, so, it's a day that recognizing, you know, emancipation of chattel slaves in Texas. Like, how does that fit into, like, America? Like, like, is there more further proof that America was racist when there's a day commemorating the freeing of slaves?
So, if you don't see how this is so ingenious, let me tell you how it's ingenious. Because if you come out and you say, you know what, I'm feeling kind of fishy about this whole Juneteenth thing, you look like a bigot. Because who could possibly oppose a holiday that celebrates the emancipation of slavery? And again, I will say, I'm not against the emancipation of slavery, obviously, in any way, shape, or form. But the left has set it up to where you come out and you say, you know what, I don't think Juneteenth should maybe be a federal holiday. And you look like a bigot who is discriminating against people.
Then what's your reason for opposing celebrating Juneteenth as a holiday?
So why is Juneteenth, or the premise of celebrating the emancipation of slavery, a problem? Again, it's because we push this narrative that white is bad, they're oppressive, and black people are victims. And I want to just ask you guys a question today. What do you think of when you think of Black Americans? And the left will tell you, I think victim, I think slavery, I think unequal, I think oppressed.
Not at all. Okay, since she's gesturing so broadly and vaguely, I will do the same. As somebody who is a member of the left, let me tell you what I think of when I think of Black Americans. I think of, well, the first thing that pops into my head, which I'm sorry, but like I'm going to talk about some more serious stuff, but I think of everything cool. Everything cool that's come out of America has been made by Black Americans. Let's be honest. White people are pretty cringe. They are not cool. Black people, on the other hand, pretty cool. But anyway, when I think of the Black American community, I don't think of slavery and oppressed and like some kind of second class. I mean, like they are treated like that. But I think of the strength of the black community and the perseverance to overcome systemic oppression, to overcome white supremacy, to continue to struggle and fight for their rights, living in a white supremacist state. So that's what I think of, the strength and the power. Speaking as somebody from the left-wing community, Jamala is gesturing at, that's what I think. So sorry, I don't see them as like I don't infantilize them and see them as some community that needs to be coddled that can't help themselves. No, like I see and acknowledge their continued perseverance, struggling through systemic oppression. That's what I think of. But it's not enough for them to struggle. It's on everybody to help and aid them in that struggle. That's what I think of. Sorry.
And me as a conservative, I would tell you I don't
Cringe.
think of anything because I don't attribute
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't super articulate just now talking about the black community, but like I at least said something. And then she's like, I don't think of anything. Black people are not worth my time. I don't even think about them. What the fuck? Come on. I don't know what she's about to say. She's about to say I don't think of people on race. But like, that's the thing. You can't deny that black Americans have a shared cultural identity.
characteristics to a person based off of their skin color. I would never do such a thing. Black Americans are all different. We are all diverse. We all have different values. We all have different feelings. We all have differences in our lives. And what
You can have all that and still have a shared collective identity.
Juneteenth aims to do as a federal holiday is to ascribe characteristics to people based on race. It perpetuates a narrative that black people in this country are oppressed and that we still have systems that are systemically racist and that are founded on white supremacy in this country.
You're not saying anything. If you're gonna you're the one making the positive claim. The burden of proof is on you. I'm sorry. You're the one that needs to be putting evidence forward. It's undeniable that systems of systemic oppression still exist to this day in America and Australia that still hold down black people. I'm sorry. But you can't just hit on every thought-terminating conservative cliche. I mean, you can, because your audience is too dumb not to think otherwise. And they just hear the scary buzzwords, CRT, radical left, BLM. She hasn't said BLM, but still. And that's it. It doesn't matter why Juneteenth is a good or a bad thing, because all they need to do is just hit the right notes, and the conservative brain shuts down.
Which is absolutely not true. We are not held back in any way, shape, or form. And you have to beg...
Really, because Republicans seem pretty keen on putting in pretty strict voting laws, so I don't know. How about those voter ID laws?
The question, what has Juneteenth accomplished for anybody now that it's a federal holiday? You get a day off of work. Well, this year it's a Saturday. Maybe next year you get a day off of work. But what does it really do?
Wait. They don't push the holiday back? Because in Australia, if a federal holiday falls on a weekend, then the holiday's still observed on the day on the weekend, but the actual day off gets pushed back. Just say for instance Australia Day. If Australia Day's on a Sunday, the holiday the day will still be on Australia Day, January 26th. But then the actual day off will be January 27th. The government still has it in a way that people get a day off. Is that not a thing in America? Is that for real? If a federal holiday what if Christmas falls on a weekend? Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Hell world.
What has it accomplished for the black community in particular? Because this is supposed to be a celebration specifically for the black community. Nothing. It accomplishes nothing. So you have the establishment politicians who push this through to you, and they go, here you guys go. here's Juneteenth. We are so progressive. We had made so much progress in America, and then they turn a blind eye to all the other problems that the black community is facing. But now
she's right, but not for the reason she thinks she is.
you get to look and you get to see on Instagram that everybody's celebrating Juneteenth, and you get to celebrate. Wow, great. While all these other problems keep continuing to happen, black communities are devastated here in America. Look at the drugs. Look at the gun violence. Look at the gang violence. Look at the illiteracy rate here.
These are what is she doing? These are systemic issues. She's talking about like systemic issues that aren't problems with individuals. What? How? This can't be. This has to be a grift. Like, she can't be this completely brain dead where she's not seeing. Like, how is she not making the connection? Come on, this has to be a grift.
In America with black Americans, yet you got Juneteenth, so that must have saved it, right? That must have fixed everything. It is
That's a leftist talking point. That's what the left says, that this is a meaningless gesture and that we have to address issues systemically. The left says that. Liberals are the ones that are like, base Juneteenth, yes, racism over. It's a left-wing criticism that this is just symbolic. What the fuck?
Metaphorical band-aid. It is a federal virtue signal that absolutely does nothing but separate us and racially divide us. Over and over and over.
She was so close.
Over and over again. It is no wonder that we've been hearing about race all through the news, all through social media, and now we get to hear about it every single year on June 19th. And you know what? I'm not excited about it. And again, it is not because I somehow oppose the emancipation of slaves. Nobody opposes.
Well, that's too bad because you're going to hear it every other day as well.
That. But think about slavery. Now, every single nation, every single ethnic group has experienced slavery. There are people still today experiencing slavery. Look at Africa. If you were truly
look at America.
Slavery, this holiday would have nothing to do with America. Yet it is specifically subscribed to Americans, and it is because the left views America, our governance, our institutions, our systems as inherently racist and founded in white supremacy.
Indeed, but of course it's only going to be observed in America. It's an American-specific event. Why is France going to celebrate Juneteenth? And yes, the systems are systemically racist and founded on white supremacy.
And when you believe that, what is the fix? What do you do when all of your institutions are shrouded in this evil ideology? You have to take down all the institutions, and you have to take down all the systems. And Juneteenth, although sounding great on paper and in theory sounding amazing, is just a way to get Americans to acknowledge that our systems and our institutions are founded on the backs of slavery, on the backs of white supremacy, and on the backs of some sort of colonial narrative. And that is not true.
She said it better than I could.
At all, and it will make our country fall apart.
I mean, you like. This is what annoys me, like, because you don't even need to, like, this is what annoys me so much about this, like, narrative where, like, oh, it's not true. Like, I don't even need to pull up a history book. I can just say, America had slaves. Like, America brought slaves to this country in 1619. Like, that's like, so yes, it absolutely was founded on slavery. Like, how can you say it wasn't when the country had slaves, when it was built by slaves? Like, and the lines in slavery were drawn on race. So yes, it absolutely was founded on slavery and white supremacy. Like, this isn't some vague, nebulous concept to understand. It's very clearly founded on slavery. If it wasn't, then it wouldn't have slaves. Fuck me. Alright, that was brain dead. I pulled Hassan's tweet, Hassan's take just because it was very true. Imagine hating black people so much you don't want another day off. Wait, did I show? There we go. Thank you, Hassan. Banger take as usual. Well, that was horrible. So yeah, I would like to wish all Americans a very happy Juneteenth. I'm sorry that you don't get a day off. So hopefully your government fixes that soon. Because that's a little shit. But yeah, stay mad, conservatives. Ha! Alright, I have a bit more to talk about. Well, I have a lot more to talk about, actually. But if you're enjoying the stream so far, please consider following me on Twitch, grabbing the link, and then... Actually, wait, do I have... Running over to Twitter and YouTube and following me on YouTube as well. And joining the Discord through the link down below. There's also a link to Streamlabs where you can donate if you feel so inclined. It would mean a lot, but hey, no pressure. I do have a part-time job, although I've been out of work the last few weeks because of a lockdown, so I haven't been making much money. I have bills to pay. So hey, help a guy out. Plus I need a new computer. Oh my god, oh my god. Like, it's working fine now, but yesterday when I was streaming both in the morning and the evening, it was plagued by problems. This computer cannot handle streaming, which seemed like... I'm not like streaming some like crazy like 60 FPS shooter or something. Just me, just videos in 480p. So yeah. Oh well. Okay, one eventually. Oh, breaking. Victoria has acquired... Yes! Victoria has recorded no new locally acquired cases. That's something I was talking about yesterday. I was talking about the... Well, basically just COVID it compared to America, comparing America and Australia. So obviously America went... Well, America's COVID response was atrocious. However, they have trumped Australia when it comes to vaccine rollout. Australia, I think something... It's like less than 5%? Or maybe it's less than 10 of the country has been vaccinated. And I believe that Australia is last in line, I think, among developed countries to become fully vaccinated. What a surprise. When you have a prime minister like ours, that's what you get. So I have to give Biden and Trump credit for the vaccine rollout. Biden taking it over, and Trump for Operation Warp Speed. No, was it Warp? Yeah, Operation Warp Speed. Like, he might have bungled up COVID's response to begin with, but at least he got some vaccines out. Although it didn't help your constant fear-mongering about vaccines, so... Wait. No, Trump didn't fear-monger about vaccines. I don't know, it's been... 2020 was a long year, right? It's been a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. It's early my time, alright? And when my alarm went off, I really didn't want to get up. Oh my god. I was in the middle of this weird dream, but... I just... wasn't feeling it. Anywho. Alright. Take these out now. Let us see. I want to talk about something... Here we go. Alright. So. Recently, I got into an argument on Twitter where I was arguing with people on the Hell site about streamers using emotes on their streams, on their Discord, on their websites, whichever. And the argument was around the use of Pepe the Frog. Now, I'm sure you, I'm not going to explain who Pepe the Frog is. You all know who Pepe is. Now, the argument they were putting forward is that Pepe the Frog is a racist symbol associated with the alt-right, and that progressive streamers, or left-wing streamers, whoever, who use Pepe in their streams are alienating people of color through the use of Pepe. Now, I disagreed. I disagree on several fronts. And that's what I want to talk about. The use of Pepe by left-wing or even just progressive streamers. Now, to start with, let's talk about, is Pepe a hate symbol? Now, Pepe is a good meme. It can't be denied. Everybody loves Pepe the Frog. There's just, I don't know, something about the... I don't know. It's like, obviously, it's a very malleable meme. Pepe's been used in all sorts, been used in all sorts of ways. So, I don't know. There's something, which is it's just a sad frog. I don't know. I can't put into words about what is good about the meme. It's some parts cute, it's some parts tragic, it's pretty almost universally funny. So yeah, it's a good meme, which is why people in the alt-right want to use it. Because here's the thing, the alt-right sucks at comedy. The alt-right sucks at art, full stop. If you look at art that comes out of the right wing, not necessarily the alt-right, but just the right, all of it, it sucks. The two examples that come to mind are... I should have pulled some. Two examples that come to mind are Stone Toss and George Alexopoulos? Is that his name? The guy that does he did all of those pro-Trump, anti-Biden, really well-designed art, but would have an absolutely brain-dead response. All this shit about, how's your cope, and now's the time for unity, where the liberal women in the art always look insane, but the conservatives, the Trumpers, always just very relaxed and not bothered. So, while that art is good, the message behind it is brain dead. Stone Toss is the opposite. The message is very not good, but it's a smart messaging behind his art. But the art itself sucks. I'm looking for some now. I don't know if I have it. Damn it. No, okay, can't find it. Whatever. Anyway. So this is why everyone likes Pepe. The alt-right likes Pepe. Why should we keep Pepe from the alt-right? Why should we let them have this meme? Well, like I've said, it's a good meme. And like I've also said, the right sucks at art. The right can't come up with their own ideas, their own concepts, their own art. There's not many artists who are conservative. Creativity tends to correlate pretty heavily with progressive thinking. So letting them have this meme, it just seems like it's such a waste, because they couldn't come up with it on their own, and everyone loves it. And which is another point about streamers using it to, on their websites and such, on their Twitch. In the argument that I had, I rattled off a list of progressives and left-wing people who use Pepe emotes and have people of color in their community or are people of color themselves. Like, the people that come to mind are people like Hassan, who's a person of color who uses Pepe, Denims, same deal, Vosh, Xanderhall, Demon Mama, Riverboat Jack, these are all, I don't know if RGR uses Pepe, I don't know, but these are all left-wing people, some of them are people of color, and all of them are people of color in their community, and they all use Pepe. We don't gain anything by letting the right have him. That's just a loss. It's a good meme. It's funny. Everyone likes it. So what do we gain from that? The people, anyone who's alienated, is in a minority. And if you're alienated by it, well, perhaps try listening to the content creator themselves and see what their views are. Because if they are progressive, then why should a meme bother you? This idea of abandoning it to, I don't know, anyone that's alienated by this, we don't gain anything by losing it. And I know, it seems it might seem a bit petty, oh, it's just a meme. I mean, they can't come up with themselves. It's only the only way that we can not associate it with the right is if progressive people use it, which I know is what Vosh has talked about. He's talked about the fact that if more progressives and left-wing people use it, then eventually it'll become disassociated from the alt-right. I've seen people on Twitter call Shoeonhead a Nazi for posting Pepe. Listen, we gain nothing by letting it go, and the only way that it's going to move from the alt-right to just a general meme is if we post frogs. So hey, post as many sad frogs as you want. I think it's dumb, really. Oh, by the way, they had no response when I pointed out that actual people of color streamers use it, so... Alright. Let me see. What's the time? It's getting a bit late in the day. I did have more, but I don't know. I don't know. Might cover the rest of the stuff tomorrow. Alright. Unless, I don't know. Unless anyone's got some hot takes to throw out, I might have to call it there. So, my name's Louis Vuitton. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Please do. I'm an Australian streamer who covers both Australian and usually American content. Depends on what's happening in the world. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Love you all. And have a good one.